Patrick Murphy's the Democratic strategist. Alex Conant is a Republican strategist. So, Patrick, I'll start off with you. How do you explain a comment like that being made by the president, albeit in a closed-door meeting?
Well, you know, Democrats are made of pretty hardy stock, and we're used to the ebb and flow of ideas, and we're not afraid of them. And I think it's part of the president's personality to be relaxed and have some fun with his members like that.
So, Alex, let me ask you, because Karl Rove in the article equates this to Chicago-style politics. Are you telling me that Karl Rove never played hardball, never reminded anyone that he was keeping score? He may not have said brother, but he may have said other things.
Well, I think the point is that President Obama in many ways has never left the campaign trail. He's still out there campaigning rather than governing, rather than trying to form consensus and make good policy. He's out there attacking people. He's out there having town halls. He's out there having summit meetings and doing the things you would expect a candidate to do, not a president.
But the town halls give him an opportunity to hear from the people. What's wrong with that? That's who voted him in. Doesn't he need to keep stock of what the folks have to say and think?
No, and absolutely, town halls are appropriate. In fact, tomorrow he's having a town hall in France. I would note that the town hall in France with Frenchmen is very near the Air Force base in Germany that he skipped last summer. I'm interesting to see if he's going to make a visit with the troops and do what you would expect a president to do, visit with troops, and when he's in the U.S., meet with lawmakers and make policy rather than threatening them.
Patrick?
Cameron, I can't imagine this president being more presidential. When he and the First Lady landed Air Force One in London and stepped out, I don't care who you voted for, you had to feel good about this country and had to feel good about who's representing us. You know, Karl Rove spent his entire career inside the White House running politics. He set the game plan up. No one's doing anything new or different. It's just the Democrats aren't afraid to embrace the issues and have some fun with it.
And Alex, I mean, after all, the president has said that if he's not successful in these efforts, he would not be reelected. He's made that very clear. So I ask again, what is wrong with playing politics? That you can play the game and not necessarily become the game, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely, and he's a politician, so of course they're going to expect him to be political, but I think that he needs to have strong policies in his back pocket as well. And when you have Democratic members of Congress, moderates and conservative Democrats, having huge issues with his budget because he's spending too much, taxing too much, borrowing too much, then, you know, rather than campaigning against his own party, maybe he should go back and look at the policies that they're having issues with.
Patrick, let me ask you, that article in the Wall Street Journal with Karl Rove says that Valerie Jarrett and others keep in contact with MoveOn.org and some of the left organizations, and they use them even against Democrats who don't see eye to eye with the president. Could he hurt himself there? Is there any truth to this?
No, I don't think he can hurt himself. I think there's a lot of issues out there that the Democrats are going to agree on and disagree on. And those senators mentioned in the article, I mean, you know, they're pretty solid senators, and they can take the ebb and flow of conversation with the president and with the president's staff about where this vote's coming down on stimulus, on budget, on any of these tough issues. The reason it's so tough is because he is governing, unlike the last 8 years. He's actually doing something, and it makes a difference.
So, Alex, I'm not quite sure the exact number of days that Obama has been president, but you've got Karl Rove, Vice President Cheney, and again, President Bush saying, I don't want to play politics. I love the country more than I love the politics. Is this just going to keep going with that side? Is it still going to be, into some perception, sour grapes?
Well, I don't know. I think it's an interesting point that, you know, President Bush's first 100 days in office were actually much more bipartisan when you look at his achievements with No Child Left Behind and the tax cuts. Those were bipartisan votes, whereas, you know, during Obama's first 100 days, we've had the stimulus bill and now a budget that even a lot of Democrats have issues with.
All right, we're out of time. Thank you very much, Alex and Patrick. Good to talk to you.